Hi guys, welcome to Seasons in Garden vlog. This time we're going to assess the damage that has happened while we were away. So as you enter the garden, we have the first circular lawn with flower borders outside. The roses here are pink, bright pink, and they've been here since very long time now. But they're actually the remnants from the previous owner. And in this circular, around this circular lawn, we have this year planted the tomatoes, a little bit of calendulas. So it's not currently, it's just full of weeds, some tomato plants and some pepper plants, chilies mostly. On the top side, we have mulched the borders with peanut husks, and these worked wonderfully. Here we have our dahlia that was supposed to be bright pink, like the color of the roses, but is unfortunately ended up being orange. We don't mind it, it's beautiful, we'll keep it. Just not the quite color I was expecting. And on the other side, we have just more tomatoes and more weed. Here we have little sunflowers that are just beautiful now. These are autumn flowers and they are now in season. They have actually spread from this front side of the garden. And this is our old and unfortunately sick plum tree, which we are going to fall this winter. Here is a little lawn patch that will stay rectangular. And then here we come to the part when there is going to be another of the circular lawns. From here we have little bits that we need to transplant. Here's the yucca. And here is the bane of this garden, the brambles. We have spent I don't know how many months picking out brambles last year, and now they're back. We didn't even know that we have these two peonies over here. They were completely covered in brambles. There where the currently little plaster house is a place where we are going to actually build a greenhouse. This part has a ton of raspberries, and here it's going to be the center of another circle lawn, small circle lawn, where we are actually going to build a permanent fire pit. Here are some plants that I need to plant, and here is a little buddleia that I actually transplanted from the other side of the garden, and I didn't even notice it flowering this year because we weren't in the garden at that time. Then after the future greenhouse, we will actually have a place for water buds. So here we currently have the hole from which we dug up the old buds, and we're going to return them in the same area, just done a bit differently. We have this beautiful laurel here. I shaped it a bit this year to be a bit more circle. And we have the white and pink border. These corners needs to go out so that it gives more space to the peony that is now looking dreadful, but in the spring it has beautiful white flowers that are looking like huge snowflakes. And then when we leave this side, we come to our veg patch, which has completely gone into the weeds. We have some amaranth, a bit of tomatoes. This was the actual border for tomatoes this year. As you can see, it has more than just tomatoes. The borage plants are here because they are really popular with the pollinators. And here we have our green border that instead of salad has again borage, a bit of corn and a lot of wheat. Here are our miraculously sprung bean plants that are actually in a border with some more weeds. There are a couple of pepper plants here, and here are the fruit trees and the fruit border in our garden. It's looking much better than the rest of the garden. This is one big rose that we will have to lift and transplant to other side of the garden. And here is a place, an area that we call the jungle. There are actually two composters in all those brambles, and there's an old tree that has died, and we will just take it down this winter. And as we leave our veg patch, we come to the beautiful terrace that is currently looking like a pure mess. Here is a beautiful white rose that we are going to make trellis and then put it on. And here is the area where we are actually going to build our garden hut. Next to it is the little garden hut that we use now for tools. And there we have also our 3A frame storage areas. And here again we have a ton of material that is waiting to be recycled that we're going to use to build some bins and place for the pump. And then let's go during our bath, and here's my husband messing with the pump because we need to put the pump inside for the winter. Here we made the pond. It's actually looking quite well. It just has a little bit of string algae that we are leaving in for now. We're going to take them out later on, but the wildlife in the pond is really enjoying. And here are the privets from which we are going to form our topiary balls, and our water butts that we are going to move to the area for the water butts. Here we have our clover lawn and our dry border. To be honest, this area is quite dry, so eryngiums are really loving it here. And this rose we are also going to transplant to one of the circle borders. Here is our pear tree. We are now in the middle of the 5-year-long project in removing the pear tree. The clover lawn has just worked amazingly this year. We have also planted some narcissi and crocusy inside the lawn, so it also works like a spring meadow. This is the blackberry trellis that we made last year, and here beside it we are actually going to continue it with a raspberry trellis. We will also transplant the plants that are not supposed to be there, that are not raspberries or strawberries, which is again one more yellow rose that we need to transplant to a different area. It's going to go to those circular borders on the other side. And here are our little columnar apples and actually columnar trees that we have. Unfortunately, one of our cherries is slowly dying, and I'm not sure what the cause is, but I'm guessing that these asters that are growing beside it are not really helpful. And here is our little clover lawn that is actually used as a wildlife highway to the pond. This is our little terrace, and with that we've come to an end. Bye bye!